Hello, everyone. What is going on? James here, and today I bring to you my UFC 273 predictions. Let's get into this then. So here is the first fight that I'll be predicting. Hazmat Maia versus Gilbert Durinho Burns. Hazmat is just an absolute utter beast, isn't he? I mean, he's barely took any strikes. He's pretty much either been able to control people on the ground and pound them, or submit them, or just TKO them. I mean, look at what he did to Jeremy Sharp, brilliant. And people bang on about, oh, he's a massive guy, he's a massive guy. I mean, he said to Charles Sonnen on this documentary that the biggest he's ever been is 188 pounds, and at the moment, well, at the time he was talking to Chael, that he's 181 pounds. I don't really see why Hazmat would lie, to be honest. And people do bang on about, oh, these guys are massive, 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 massive. And honestly, for ages, I thought Michel Pereira was like the biggest welterweight in size and weight, but he's like 184 pounds on fight night, which that is fairly big, but it's not like next level massive. It's because he's got the muscles, hasn't he, which make him look big, same as Hazmat Chimaev, big and muscly, tall and muscly. You know what I'm saying? He's really, really good at controlling people. He does big things in the stand up, like a big straight, a big kick. You know what I'm saying? He's very good at controlling people's backs, and just getting them down to the ground. Gilbert Burns, I do go on about his submission game, but the thing is, his biggest grappling achievements have been in the jiu-jitsu matches, haven't they? You know what I'm saying? Like the Polares and all that jazz. He hasn't submitted anyone really ever at welterweight, has he? I know he submitted a few people here and there at lightweight, but at welterweight, he hasn't submitted anyone, man. And to be honest, Hazmat Chimaev, is he going to be the guy who gets tapped by Burns? The thing is, it doesn't matter how good your jiu-jitsu is. If a wrestler's like controlling you and controlling you and controlling you, how are you going to submit them from like you being inside control or you being mounted or you having, your back body locked? You know what I'm saying? Like Hazmat having a back body lock, how are you going to submit him? Unless Hazmat just farts about in Gilbert Burns' guard for ages, I can't really see Burns being able to submit him, to be honest. The thing is, though, if Hazmat does like try and stand and bang with Burns, it could potentially be game over, really, in that aspect, because Burns is brilliant in the pocket, brilliant with the hooks. What Hazmat needs to do is just throw a big strike, throw a big straight right or a head kick like he did against Liu Jingliang, and get the body lock and just take him down and try and get mount or try and get mount, land the ground and pound and just whoop him. You know what I'm saying? That's what he needs to do. I do want Gilbert Burns to win, to be honest, but I just really, really don't think he will. Again, with Burns, it's usually one at a time strikes, isn't it? It's not like like he'll throw a big right hand or he'll throw a leg kick. It's usually very much just he throws one thing at a time. And the strikes that he throws to the head are like what? Big hooks, especially that big right hand. Strikes he throws to the leg are like leg kicks. So, yeah, and I don't think that's enough to beat Hazmat. And he ain't defending the takedowns. And maybe even Hazmat could just play about in the clinch with Burns, because Burns has been held up against the fence quite a bit. Even in fights he was winning the Woodley fight, but the only time Woodley had success was holding him against the cage, really. So, yeah, I think Hazmat gets the win. I think he nearly finishes him in the first round, mounting him and beating the crap out of him. And then in the second round, he like drops him and just hits him a bit, and the ref's like, okay, we're stopping this here. So, yeah, that's my prediction. Hazmat Chimaev, second round KO. Now on to the co-main event, Peter Yan versus Aljamain Sterling. So, again, a lot of these fights, in the last fight, Hazmat was a massive favourite, and in this fight, Peter Yan... Peter Yan is just a massive favourite as well, and to be honest, I feel like this could potentially be more competitive than Hazmat versus Burns, because let's be real, Burns would probably just... The only chance Burns has got is a big shot, or Hazmat just plays around in his guard and potentially gets tapped. I've never done this before. I've never talked about a previous fight when I'm talking about the next fight. But yeah, it's just weird that why is Yan such a heavy favourite? Like the last fight was competitive. Aljo outlanded him a crap ton in the first round until, Yan dropped him. Second round was quite close, and third round Yan was winning. But second round, I felt actually no, it wasn't close. Sorry, he was competitive, but Aljo was outlanding him a crap ton, and third round, Jan was just putting it on him, but it was really competitive. Um, at the end of the day, Aljo, people have a go at him for that knee, being over the top with it. And, he was very over the top and played it up too much. People get knocked out brutally and get up quicker than he got up. So he was being very OTT, but at the end of the day, he should have just said that was a massive shot. I just don't want to continue. And then, he would have got the win, but instead he had to be like really, really over the top. Personally, where I am on the debate of if you get hit with a massive illegal shot, should you give up? Should you keep going? It's an interesting one, isn't it? Anthony Lionheart Smith, when he kept losing over and over and over again after the it felt like over and over and over and over again after the John Jones loss. I thought to myself, if he had just, stayed down and said, I don't want to continue, he could have made a lot of money in a John Jones rematch and he could have just kept fighting. And the thing is, I get it when you're like a young person, you don't have a family and whatever, you're just on your own, or you and your partner, you might not really, you might just think, no, I've got pride, I'm going to continue. But when you've got a family, or you're later on in your life, you want to make the money. But I suppose it worked out for Smith, didn't it? He's won his last three, he's done really, really well, and he's probably made some decent money. But when he lost it to Cher and Rakic, I was a bit like, oh man, if he loses to, Devin Clark or Jimmy Crute, this ain't going to be good. But yeah, anyway, back to this fight though. I don't blame Sterling for not continuing, but I do blame him for acting over the top. But at the end of the day, Jan hit him with a big illegal shot. Simple as. So he's the champ. But to be honest, if I'm being brutally honest, I feel like it's going to be very competitive. I feel like Aljo won't. He'll put it on him volume wise, but in the first fight he was just throwing loads at him for the sake of throwing, and Jan just seemed really calm with the tight high guard and was just like, okay, whatever, defend this, defend this, defend this, boom. And when it comes to Aljo's biggest strength, grappling, Jan just has some next level strength and tripped him and made him look a bit of a mug on the ground, really, didn't he? So, yeah, in that department, I feel like we haven't seen Jan's submission grappling, but we've seen him be able to trip people and control them, and he's very good at that. And he was really good at controlling Aljo, and he pretty much just picked him up and dumped him like it was nothing. So, his grappling ain't going to work. Again, I feel like it'll be similar to the last one, except Aljo will sort of chill out a bit more and not put the pressure on him as much. I suppose to beat Jan, you do need to overload him, don't you? But maybe that'll be Aljo's undoing. Maybe it'll just give Jan more chances to counter him, or maybe Aljo will do a bit better by laying off him and not being as panicky with his shots and just throwing shit for the sake of throwing it. It's going to be a really interesting one, man. It's going to be a really, really fun fight, and Jan rightfully gets the title back because he's the man at the end of the day, isn't he? He's the champ. It feels like he's still the champ because he fought Corey Sandhagen, probably the best guy at welterweight currently, and beat him. I know Aljo beat him ages ago, but you got to remember, you can use this logic for anything. Like, oh, Corey's not that good; he got beat by Aljo. Yeah, that was ages ago. Aljo got beat by Marlon Moraes. Where's Marlon Moraes now? As much as I like Moraes and respect him, where is he? You know what I'm saying? Are we gonna say, oh, he got beat by Moraes? So at the end of the day, they're in the positions they're in, all of them, and they're all doing well. Bantamweight is mad competitive. So I'm going to say Jan gets a decision. Probably wins 4 out of the 5, but the first two are really close. So yeah, that's my opinion. Now on to the main event: Alexander Volkanovski versus Chan Sung Jung, the Korean Zombie. And we might as well say Alex's name, Alex the Great Volkanovski. And both guys are really, really good. Volk moves all over the place, feints a crap ton. He's beat a load of people. He beat, I think he beat, was it Darren Elkins before he fought Chad Mendes, and he knocked out Mendes. He beat Aldo, beat Holloway twice, has beaten Ortega. He's done really well. He's just an absolute beast. Thing is, though, I don't see, again, the odds are mental. I'm sorry, Korean Zombie has such amazing power, and he's mad successful against small guys. Frankie Edgar, Dennis Bermudez. So, fighters that he has a height advantage over. That's what I mean. He does do well against them. A lot of his punches come from the hip, so he's able to get to the target quicker against smaller guys, isn't he? And he's very, very good at baiting people in. He keeps his chin, like, he'll stick his chin out and then he'll pull back and counter. He's really, really good at that. He goes back and forth. He's pretty straight with his footwork. He just goes forward in a straight line and back in a straight line. It's not going to be very good against Volkanovski, is it? Who's feinting and moving all over the place. I think Volk will just have to keep it standing, go for that leg kick all day. Because the thing is, the pullback counters aren't going to work. Because when he's doing this, Volk's just going to feint, leg kick. He could probably take him down in the third and fourth round, maybe even the fifth. He probably shouldn't try and take him down in the early rounds. Volk doesn't really do that often, though, does he? But yeah, I really think Korean Zombie will land one or two big shots and really, really really rock Volkanovski, in my opinion. And everyone will be like shocked that he got rocked badly. But I think overall, Volk just absolutely dominates him. He's just too good and he's staying on top for a while, to be honest. So yeah, Alexander Volkanovski, unanimous decision wins probably about, I don't know, 4 or 5 rounds, maybe 5 rounds, I don't know. Yeah, let's go for 5 rounds, 50-45. We've got the rest of the fights here. Who do I know then? Don't know. I'm just going for Daniel Santos. Kay Hansen, let's go for her. Anthony Hernandez, let's go for him. Olenek, let's just go for him. Mark Madsen, let's go for him. Mickey Gall will win. I don't know. Raquel Pennington, Rosenstruik. Ian Gary, legend. Woo! Let's go. He's going to win. Yeah, I'm going for Ian Gary. Mackenzie Dern as well. So, yeah, there we go. So, thank you all so much for watching. And, yep, have a good one. See you. Laters.